Welcome to another episode of Dreaming About Travel Podcast.
I would love to go on a vacation.
Bringing you our perspective on travel news, featured places to visit and explore, traveling tips, and much, much more. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to travel along with us. So, where do you want to go? This is the Dreaming About Travel Podcast.
All right, Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Dreaming About Travel Podcast. This is episode 201, the first one for 2020, and I am joined today with Charlotte Trotten up in New Hampshire. How's it going, Charlotte?
Freezing, Carl. Like, you don't want to leave the house freezing.
Well, you know, it's like 80 degrees where I'm at right now in Fort Lauderdale, so I won't rub that in.
See, when I leave on vacation, it's just that much more magical to go be warm.
And when is that?
Not for a long time, but I'm booking other people and looking at their warm vacations and getting extremely jealous. So at least I can live through them.
I agree.
Nope. Yeah, our next vacation is all college. We're like, next vacation is all college tours.
That sounds like
hoping
fun.
He picked a few places with palm trees that we can go visit in a few weeks.
That's good. Yeah, let's pick a few of the nice southern colleges. So that way you'll get a little warmth in there. I think that's a good idea.
Yep, that's top of the list. Education is secondary.
All right. Well, in this episode, we are going to talk about our top 5 destinations for 2019. These were the places that people chose to go the most. But before we do that, we'll get into our news stories. So I'll start with one that is out there around Carnival, which is their new Carnival Kitchen, which just started on Carnival's Panorama ship, the brand new ship that launched in December. And this is a way for the guests on board to actually interact with the chefs and put their own chef's hat on. And there's going to be more than 15 onboard cooking classes showcasing a variety of international cuisines. And they'll have like a classics workshop with dinner. There'll be like an Orient Unknown class with dinner, the Pasta Masters class, and just to name a few. And then, you know, like pizza making, sushi, and so forth. So it's a really great way for all the different guests on there that are foodies to get to experience making the food just like they do on the ship there. So I think that's pretty cool.
I think I know some people that would love that. I personally go on vacation to not do any of that, but would be
hey, I would do it.
Very happy to sit back and watch others do it.
Yeah,
or to have my husband join in.
And you know what else I do on some of the ships is if they have one of those cocktail making classes, I actually like doing that too.
So that I can get behind.
There you go.
That one I'm all for. But no, that one sounds really fun.
Yep, I can't wait to do it. So, and I know you have a news article as well.
Yeah, so we just wanted to kind of send our thoughts and anything else we can of good thoughts over to Sydney and the wildlife that's getting ravaged by the fires there. 2 days ago, the news reported that downpours have started, which everybody thought was going to be great to help relieve some of the massive brush fire situation. But today they reported that some of the zoos have been becoming, the animals are now drowning from flash floods. So it just seems like they're going from one terrible disaster to another. And just sending all of as much good thoughts as we can over to Sydney and the rest of Australia. Hoping this time next year it's much better.
Yep, it's a sad story. You know, that same thing happened in California with the fires out there. When the rain started, they started getting flooding in. So it's great to help put out the fires, but then you get some other stuff with it. So at least hopefully it won't be as heavy a rain, so that way it'll let up a little bit. But
hopefully not, and Sydney will be back in business before we know it.
Yep, and I even saw some photos of like baby kangaroos that were rescued and stuff, and I know firefighters from all over the world have gone down there to help them out. So we really salute the firefighters and first responders that are out there fighting those fires.
Absolutely. Stay safe, everyone.
Definitely.
Oh, and I would like to give a shout out to Lauren Kay, who sent me a message to let me know that she's listening to our podcast and happens to be my #1 fan. So keep them coming, everyone. We love that you listen and love it when I'm told I'm a favorite.
Wow.
So, hi,
I don't
Lauren.
have a favorite fan. That's not fair.
It's all right, Carl. Well, maybe. So if anybody likes Carl out there, let him know, but you can keep letting me know more.
That's right.
And the fan mail to Charlotte.
And if you want to reach Charlotte, you can reach her at c.troddyn, TRODDYN, @dreamvacations.com. And for myself, it's kduncan, DUNCAN, @dreamvacations.com. All right. Since you got the that star award there, Charlotte, I'm going to start us off with our top 5 destinations for 2019. So these are some great places that, might be a new opportunity for many of you, or just something that's on your bucket list. And I would say it's never too early to start planning for your next vacation. So these are definitely hot spots that are trending for us. And so let's get right into it. And Charlotte, what's our first one?
Yeah, I thought this list was really fun because it had, I thought this list was really fun. It had some old-time favorites, but it was really mixed up with some fun new adventure spots that we're seeing trending. And the top of the list was Costa Rica, specifically Monteverde, Costa Rica, which is an amazing place to visit if you or your family are really into nature and are ready for an adventure. It's home to one of the rarest habitats in the entire earth, and the cloud forest and the flora and the fauna are something that you will never see anywhere else. The really neat thing about this part of Costa Rica is that it has 8 different biological zones just in that one area.
Wow.
Which is really neat. And while you're there and you're on part of your adventure, you're going to see pumas and monkeys and some of the endangered jaguars. You can walk in the clouds. There's hanging bridges that can go anywhere from 150 feet to 500 feet above up in the tree canopies. You can go zip lining and just really enjoy a day of adventure and then relax when you're done and enjoy some of the local authentic food and back to your resort, which so many of these resorts in Costa Rica really pay homage to the beautiful nature that's around them. So you're among rainforests and waterfalls and amazing spa treatments, natural spa treatments, which I know that my clients have just loved and said it's been like nothing else they've ever experienced.
I think it's time for me to take a spa treatment because I would love to be there right now.
I think that is part of the job to-do list.
I think
you
so
can have the
too.
experience and tell others.
Awesome. Well, that's an amazing destination. Now, our next one is actually Kauai, Hawaii. And so if you're not looking to necessarily leave the United States, this is a great place, just like Costa Rica. Breathtaking scenery, the aloha spirit that you feel on the island, some amazing beaches. And those are just a few of the reasons I think Hawaii is a top destination. And so one place you can visit here is Kauai is actually the Garden Island, and it's the oldest and it's the 4th largest Hawaiian island. And it's also home to some of the best beaches in the world. A lot of people don't realize that. And so if you're, seeking relaxing time, I would say there's no better way than to recharge on this island. There's some lush waterfalls, beautiful landscapes, spiritual core, make this once in a lifetime trip. And I definitely recommend you go there. If you're up to adventure, similar to like you were talking about in Costa Rica, you can actually hike the Kalalua Trail, which is a 22-mile round trip trail. And then there's also a canyon that you got to visit, which is home to lush vegetation and towering waterfalls. And it's kind of known as the Grand Canyon of the Pacific. So I definitely recommend go and discover paradise today.
And what's really neat about Kauai too is that it's a great jumping spot. Like it's easy to get to by plane, but then you could use that to head to some of the smaller islands on Hawaii.
Exactly.
Which is great while you're there.
Yeah, and another great way to visit it, because you could do land vacations like you were just talking about and hop between islands, but there's also, cruises that go there, and so that'd be another great way to see the islands.
Yeah, I would say we should do both, Carl. A week on the islands, and then we cruise for a week.
I'm good with that.
All right, see all this. I'm staring outside at the snow coming down while we're talking about this and getting sadder and sadder. All right. Next on the list, number 3 coming in for our top 5 destinations is one that a lot of times families don't consider going to because they only think about it as spring break and party time. But that is not the case. And I'm talking about Cancun. So Cancun gets the reputation, like I said, for being the place where all the spring breakers go and it's wild and it's crazy. But there are parts of Cancun that have beaches that are so quiet and so pristine, it will take your breath away. So Cancun, especially the areas like the Riviera Maya and Tortugas, those are known for their crystal clear waters, miles and miles and miles of white beaches. People are into snorkeling and scuba diving. You can take a short catamaran ride and see some of the most stunning underwater sights that you could see anywhere. You could take short drives and head off to go see the Mayan ruins, which is just something that I think everybody should get a chance to experience, that piece of history.
I love the
and
ruins.
Come back to your resort and just have that mix of relaxing and adventure all in one. So definitely people do not think of Cancun as a place that you only have to go and be wild. It is such a beautiful place to go with the family. Girls weekend, guys weekend, great trip.
I couldn't agree more. And I mean, you did say the water is crystal blue. It definitely is. I mean, it's one of the best places on planet Earth.
And it's warm.
Yep, and it is warm, not snowing like it is there. So, number 4 is Lisbon, Portugal. So, I'm a foodie and I love eating. It's one of my favorite pastimes. So Lisbon actually is known for a lot of world-class restaurants. You'll get some amazing food here. But besides that, you're also going to run into a lot of great history, the culture. I mean, it all awaits you in the stunning capital of Portugal, which is Lisbon. And so you've got, the Tagus River contains some of the capital's most interesting and historical monuments, such as the Belém Tower. Visit Chiado, the artist district, and that's one of the best areas. It's loved by poets and writers, and enjoy beautiful theaters. There's quaint little barber shops as you walk down the street, and then of course you got all the amazing restaurants that go with it. And then you can also take a day trip to Sintra, which is where the ancient places meet the gardens. They have these exotic gardens that are part of UNESCO World Heritage, and there's a great reason for that. You just have to see it. And then also close to Lisbon, you have the coastline of beautiful sandy beaches, and you can find some really nice calm sea waters and charming resort towns that have a great historical feel to them. So I definitely recommend you add this also to that bucket list.
That sounds great. And I've noticed too, so when people are calling about river cruises, if they've done the Danube and the Thames, that river cruising to Portugal seems to be piquing a lot of interest lately.
It is. It's one of the hot destinations for river cruises right now. So you definitely have an opportunity to see more of the smaller towns along that river. And, it's a great way to see a lot of historical value too.
That's great. I would love to add that to my list. And last but not least, drum roll please, our last top 5 destination that we've seen really popular in 2019 is St. Lucia. So St. Lucia is a place that you'll often go to if you're on a cruise as a stop for the day. but it's becoming very popular for people looking to spend a week on an island. People love the smallness of St. Lucia, but you don't feel like you're trapped on an island. You have just stunning views of sunsets. You have beaches for miles. St. Lucia is just really a gorgeous place, again, for snorkeling and boating and trying to get away from the typical places that you might go that are overcrowded and filled with high rises and busy. St. Lucia is just that peaceful getaway. So one thing, though, to note for St. Lucia is, and tell me if I'm wrong about this or if things have changed, is that currently the law in St. Lucia is that if you are a homosexual couple, it is against the law. So we do advise if you are a same-sex couple, this would not be the place for you to go for the week.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Charlotte, because I was going to say, St. Lucia is very popular, especially for, destination weddings and honeymoons and so forth. And it is a beautiful country, but unfortunately there are laws still in the books there that are very antiquated. And so they are not friendly to the LGBT population at all. So I do not recommend going there for that purpose. But, if you want to go there for a destination wedding or honeymoon, it's a great location.
Absolutely. We just like to make sure that everybody's fully aware. That's why we're here.
Exactly. So those are our top 5 for 2019. I'd love to hear your feedback from our listeners out there of what your favorite spots were in 2019 to take a vacation. So please feel free to email either of us and let us know. And we will be doing a top destinations for 2020 that are off the beaten path coming up in a couple of weeks as well. So stay tuned for one of those in future episodes. And then we're also going to be doing the brand new cruise ships that are going to be coming out. So we'll run down all of those new ships that are coming out in 2020 as well on a future episode. So
I know there's so many. I can't wait.
I know, it's amazing. Like over the next few years, there's a lot of great ships coming out that I'm super excited for. So
a lot of traveling coming up.
That is true. And that's good for us. That means we get to go and check them all out, right?
That's just the tough part of the job, but that's what we're here for, people.
Exactly. All right. So any travel tips or anything before we leave, Charlotte?
So the only thing that I wanted to mention was, and only because my husband does this all the time, was there was a report that just came out a few weeks ago that recommended that you do not order coffee or hot tea when you're on from the airplane. That you should get it from the airport and bring it with you, because studies have shown upon checking that the airplanes are not required to change the water, and they don't have time to change the water between each and every flight.
Oh, wow.
So, right. My husband orders, that's his most favorite thing to do. I don't know why. Even if he buys a coffee in the airport, he always orders himself a coffee. But they are saying that bacteria can sit in that for quite a long time, and that it's now sometimes when people come back and say they don't feel good after flights, that it could be related to that water that's just been sitting there. So
Wow.
Go to Starbucks, people, stop before you get in, and then buy yourself something little fun to put in your coffee on the airplane, but don't order the airplane coffee.
That's good advice. Yeah, I mean, that free coffee on the plane, it might be nice because it's free, but definitely could have other issues. So good advice.
How about you? Anything fun?
So this is not really a travel tip or anything. It's actually, Dream Vacations, Duncan Demery and Associates, as part of the Dream Vacations franchise system, is actually giving away $10,000 for a vacation right now. So if you want to go to www.grouptraveldesign.com, you can actually enter on there, and there's a little image on the website about midway down. and just click on that, enter your information, and then there's going to be a drawing a little bit later in this first quarter that they will pick a winner, and somebody is actually going to win $10,000 for, you can use it towards a cruise, resort, or vacation, so.
Wow, that's the only time I'm sad that I'm working here and I can't win.
I know. I'm super excited though for whoever wins. So.
Oh my God! I hope it's somebody I know. Go sign up, people. Go win vacations and go to one of those places we just told you about.
That's right.
On us.
That's right. Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for listening. And as always, if you have any comments or things that you would love for us to go over on a future episode, feel free to reach out to us. If you have any travel questions, we'd be glad to answer them on future episodes. So please send them to us. And we look forward to talking to you again soon. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye, everyone.